Carl Pavano all set to get us underway, and his first pitch to Chris Getz is right down Broadway for a called strike.
Well, and that's what Pavano likes to do. Get a look at Ozzie Guillen.
He's been a bit perplexed at the struggling Sox offensively, as that one spun Getz out of the way. Getz is second among American League rookies with 23 hits. And that pitch missed outside. Getz, a product of the University of Michigan, fourth-round pick of the White Sox back in 2005.
Good changeup.
That has been his bread and butter, his best pitch.
Well, I mean, he can throw it at any time, Matt. He has confidence in it, and he loves to throw it to the left-handers. I mean, he also mixes it into righties, but what? Out in front, he seems like he's got very good control with it, and it's a comfort pitch for him. Another one.
Blooped in the air, shallow left. In comes Ben Francisco to make the running catch. One away. Tonight's injury report brought to you by the law firm of Nuremberg, Paris, Ohio's injury lawyers since 1928. Call 1-800-399-2300. Talked to Travis Hafner today. He's feeling better. He took batting practice for the first time today since going on the DL. He's getting anxious to either get on a rehab assignment or get back with the big league club. We'll see how that goes.
I don't blame him. There's no way you want to sit around here. He just hit, so let's get him back.
Now stepping in, Brent Lillibridge, who fouls the first pitch back. There's Pronk. And I know batting practice is maybe not necessarily a great gauge, but watching him swing, he looked pretty good. I mean, he was launching balls. He looked like he had some strength firing through that shoulder, so hopefully the Indians will be able to get him back in the lineup.
Well, he shouldn't need many at-bats, if at all, down there.
Bouncer to short. Johnny Peralta takes care of Brent Lillibridge for out number 2. Now to bring up Carlos Quentin, the White Sox left fielder, batting in the 3-hole tonight. You look at the White Sox numbers coming off their last homestand offensively, and you compare them to the Indians' offensive numbers, and they're very similar. Two lineups that are both searching for some level of consistency, and that's always a key word in baseball. Everybody's looking for consistency. Check out our Firestone League leaders. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. These two teams both have guys who aren't afraid to
targets on their back,
budge when that pitch comes inside. And Quentin, this is not a knock against him, but he is a guy who we noticed last year. He stands spread out right on top of home plate, and he's not moving.
Well, watch where his hands are. They look like they're over the strike zone. I mean, we have our own guys that stay on the plate and they don't turn when there's a pitch inside. Watch where his hands are. His hands are right there over the inside corner of the plate.
Swung on and missed. Pavano gets the strikeout, and the Sox go 1-2-3. Good start for Pavano and the Tribe. Now the Indians' bats coming up when we come back. Back here at Progressive Field, sun shining brightly, but the temperature a little on the cool side. Let's take a look at Eric Wedge and his starting 9 for tonight. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Grady Sizemore, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Victor Martinez at the top. Shin-Soo Choo, Mark DeRosa, and Johnny Peralta, who has good career numbers against Gavin Floyd. Then David DeLucci will DH, followed by Ben Francisco and Kelly Shopping.
Gavin Floyd, the 26-year-older, makes the start for the Sox. He is 2-2, a high ERA of 6.29, coming off no decision against Kansas City, where he gave up 6 runs in 5 innings. Left the game leading 7-4.
And his first pitch to Grady Sizemore outside for ball 1.
Making his 4th career start against the Tribe. He is 2-1. And his second start in this ballpark.
Down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Grady Sizemore just 2 for 12 on the homestand. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Now, it's no secret when Grady Sizemore can find ways to get on base, then the Indians' offense usually is successful. And he lines this one to right field to start the ball game. Grady with a leadoff single, and that's something that has been missing from his repertoire.
Yes, it has.
In the first inning. And, you know, because as you said, after the game starts, the leadoff hitter is rarely the leadoff guy. But to start games, this is how the Indians have been successful in the past, jumping on teams early in games.
Well, Gavin Floyd throws a pitch down to Grady's liking. I mean, we watched Detroit. They were pounding him upstairs with everything. He drops the head on that one and gets a base hit. And the White Sox have been terrible this year at throwing out base stealers. Base stealers have stolen 31 out of 32 attempts. So I would look for them to be aggressive here tonight.
Well, and not only that, Rick, but this is a bad combination because Gavin Floyd is a guy who struggles in that scenario. Last year, they stole 37 out of 42 times against him successfully.
He came out with a slide step right there on the first pitch. There he picks it up. And still, now the second straight hitter down 2-0.
Asdrubal Cabrera has hit in 11 of his last 12 games. Like Victor Martinez, he has been one of the Indians' most consistent offensive performers so far this year. Martinez, of course, waits on deck. Grady draws a throw, but he's back easy with a dive. Sizemore with 5 stolen bases so far on the year.
The amazing thing about Grady, he has been caught 5 times already this year, and he had such a, I think he stole about 18 in a row last year.
2-0 pitch. Misses 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, and the reason why he's not going yet is because he can't find the strike zone.
You figure Cabrera taking all the way here, and he is. Floyd lays it in there.
Well, he may see him off and running now.
Walks twice this year have been the undoing of Floyd. He walked 5 against Toronto and 7 in Detroit. Well, let's see if Grady puts the wheels in motion here. 3-1, there goes Grady. It's low, ball 4. So a hit and a walk to start the first inning for the Tribe. And they've got the makings of a rally as Victor Martinez comes to the plate.
Let's check out the White Sox defense behind Floyd this evening. It's Quinton in left, Lillibridge in center, Dye is in right. Fields at third, Ramirez at short, Jets at second, Konerko at first with Brzezinski behind the plate.
You know, Rick, a year ago, Gavin Floyd was their stopper. When the White Sox lost last year, he made 15 starts following a loss and was 9-2 in those games.
Right.
And the White Sox were 12-3. So far this year, though, it's been a different story with an 8.21 ERA in his first 3 starts following Sox losses and a record of 0-1.
Every year is different, and this guy gets some of the best run support in the game. They average over 8 runs a game when he's pitching. His walks are up this year. That was his 19th walk in 34 innings.
Well, yeah, I mentioned earlier he's had 12 walks in 2 starts.
Yeah.
Just those 2 starts alone. Just doesn't seem like there's any in between.
Well, this is a guy that has that fastball, good overhand curveball.
Martinez awaiting the 1-0 pitch, and Victor grounds one up the middle. Backhanded stop by Getz. They get 1 at second, and that's it. Boy, what a terrific play by Chris Getz defensively to force Asdrubal Cabrera at second base. Indians at the corners and 1 down.
Well, the White Sox defense, they are ranked last as far as percentage goes, but that's a terrific play right there to save a run. A little sinker down and away, double play ball. Boy, I thought it was a base hit. He smothers it, gets it to Ramirez, and you can see Cabrera gets down on Ramirez. He cannot make a throw. So it's runners at the corners, but a good play by Getz.
So 1 away now for Shin-Soo Choo. And he looks at ball 1 down low. Choo 0 for his last 5. But he is 4th in the American League in walks. And he lines one into right field. The Indians will grab the lead as Sizemore scores from third. Martinez stops at second. Choo with his 15th RBI on the year. And that's the first inning run the Indians have scored now in the month of May.
Boy, that's always nice. You score in that first inning, most of the time you take the lead. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it because you're right. First time we've seen it in the month of May, and it's a beautiful thing right there. Base hit. Tribe will jump on top, 1-0. It'll be RBI number 15 for Choo, and that's nice to see that guy cross home plate.
It's hard to believe that Mark DeRosa, as he steps in, that Grady Sizemore came in tonight only having scored 2 runs in the last 12 games. I mean, that's a clear indicator of how the offense has struggled, because when he's on base, not only can he make things happen with his own wheels, but he distracts the pitcher, and that helps the guys at the plate. Take advantage of it here. They get the early lead. Mark DeRosa looks at a strike to even the count. Over his last 13 games, DeRosa has picked up the pace offensively, batting at a .296 average. And he's put himself in a good hitter's count now, 2-1. And Gavin Floyd in the unenviable position of working behind to a lot of hitters here in the first inning.
Well, it doesn't help, and you know it takes starters sometimes a while to get settled in. He doesn't look like, he's all over the place.
Which is why I've always heard people say, who've been around the game, when you've got a starter who struggles early, you better get him early.
Take advantage of him.
Because if you let him find it, then he might settle in and pitch a dandy.
Well, he's 0 for 5 on first pitch strikes. That doesn't help right there.
3-1 coming to DeRosa. Line toward right field. Dive broke in. Now it's over his head. It'll go to the fence. Coming around third, Martinez will score. Choo is going to be stopped at third. It's going to be an RBI double for Mark DeRosa. 2-0 Cleveland. I'm not sure if the misstep cost Dye, but it certainly didn't help him any.
Yeah, I think it did. He must have thought that ball was going to be in front of him when he broke in. And it ends up getting over his head. It looks like, Mark DeRosa, with the count in his favor, he goes that way, and he's got some pretty decent pop. But that ball down, and maybe he was fooled on that swing. You see, he did. Yes, that step coming in certainly did hurt him. He missed it by about a half a step.
Yeah, you're right.
So that first step really did cost Jermaine Dye. I don't know if he had a problem picking it up off the bat or not, but it certainly helps the Indians. For DeRosa, his 22nd ribby, his 8th double. And now the Indians with a 2-0 lead. Cooper already got to go to mound, and the Indians with another ground ball could get another run and be off to a very nice start.
The good news for the Indians thus far in the game, the only out they've made was allowed out by Martinez on that hard hit ball up the middle. Getz had to make a diving stop to force a runner at second base. Now Johnny Peralta, coming off his 3-hit performance, looks at ball one inside. Peralta now in his last 4 games, and this goes back to what you talked about at the outset of our telecast, baby steps. Last 4 games, though, 7 out of 18. Cuts and misses to even the count at 1-1. The Indians came into this game tonight with a team batting average of $147 in the first inning of their game so far in the month of May. But already 3 for 4 to start the game here tonight, and 2 runs on the board. Johnny takes a strike over the outside part of the plate. Now he's down on the count 1-2.
Well, this is where the Indians this year have really struggled. Runners in scoring position, they've struck out 80 times when you've got guys in this situation. All you need here is a ground ball to get a run. I mean, you've got to change your approach. You've got to find a way to put the ball in play, and you have another run.
1-2 pitch. Down low to even the count. Well, even during early batting practice, which the Indians took today, Derek Shelton had different hitters coming through, and he would go over that same scenario. Hey, runner on third, less than 2 out. Hit the ball, either drive it in the air to get the run home, or, put it on the ground. And
right. I mean, you play your little games in batting practice, and you simulate game situations, but that's what I'm talking about right there. The pitch set up, and you strike out. You swing and miss, and the approach was not there.
Off-speed pitch takes care of Peralta for out number 2. And so now the Indians have runners at second and third with 2 down, and David DeLucci will be coming to the plate. DeLucci, who got off to a blistering start when he came up from the rehab assignment, is just 1 for his last 17 now. Looks at a ball up high. It has not been a good first inning for Gavin Floyd. He's given up 2 runs, and this will be his 25th pitch. But from his perspective, if he can get out of this without any more damage, then it may give him a little bit of a lift.
Well, it will. When you can minimize situations when you're out there, and then you can settle in. He's really struggled this first inning, but he has a chance to wiggle off the hook here, and if he can get away with just giving up the 2, that would be a bonus for him.
Now the 1-1. Good off-speed pitch. Floyd, you talked about the big overhand curve he has, but that changeup has definitely been a pitch that has really helped him.
There it is. You can see that pitch. It looks like a circle change. He holds it deep. It's got a little sinking action to it.
Now the 1-2. Try to wrap it around the outside corner. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's another look.
The old backdoor breaking ball, just high. But you can see how much that ball does drop.
The 2-2. Big bouncer. Kicked by Konerko, but he'll recover. And the inning is over. The Indians do get a 2 spot, and after 1 inning of play, it's Cleveland 2, Chicago nothing.
Airlines, official airline of the Cleveland Indians. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy.
All right, back here at Progressive Field, 2-0 Tribe. Second inning, Jermaine Dye to lead it off, and he takes a first pitch strike from Carl Pavano. Fans certainly love that first inning offensive action. So many times the Indians have had to play from behind early in a game this year, but tonight they've got the early lead. Dye is batting .341 so far this year against right-handed pitching. And you can see Pavano making a concerted effort to make sure that he keeps pounding him inside. And I think you know we've alluded to it in his previous starts. That's part of the reason for his success.
Yes, it is.
He goes inside to the right-handed hitter.
And left-handed. He's not afraid to pitch in. I mean, he runs that fastball in there. That ball is going to fall for a base hit, so the first hit for the Sox.
Dye just continues, though, to eat up right-handed pitching. Every year is different, and this year, Dye is not fazed by the right-handers.
Well, they went back in there, but it was upstairs. So that's a little easier for Dye to fight it off and go the other way with it. As I did tell you before the game, though, Carl Pavano against right-handed hitters, they're hitting coming into today .365 off him.
Jim Thome looks at a curveball in there for a strike. Thome 14th on the all-time home run list, 545. His batting average, though, below the Mendoza line, and that is certainly a rarity for Thome, who has always been a good overall hitter in addition to his power numbers.
Well, he takes his walks is what he does. You know, always has. He's a very selective hitter, patient hitter at the plate. And you can see right there among active players with 1,565 walks. He needs one more walk or a couple of more walks to tie Pete Rose. I mean, that's a lot of times free passes. 1,565 times on first base just from strolling down.
He lines one into right center for a base hit. Dye's going to stop at second. Chu got to it quickly. And the first two White Sox have reached to start the second inning. Tonight's Alltel text poll question of the game. Let's go back in the history books a little bit. Who do you think was the best Indians hitter during that incredible run during the 1990s? Was it Jim Thome, Manny Ramirez, Albert Bell, Carlos Baerga, or someone we perhaps have forgotten? Text your answer to 31962. Results coming up later in the game. Paul Konerko, last 24 games, batting .303.
Good double play candidate if you can get him to hit it on the ground. He's grounded into 3 to this point.
Offensively, the White Sox have struggled away from their home at U.S. Cellular Field, which is a great hitter's park. But they are averaging almost a run and a half less per game. No, I beg your pardon. They're averaging, that's what's ironic. It's the reverse of what you would think. At home, they're struggling, averaging 3.5 runs a game. On the road, they're averaging almost 5 runs per game.
Well, they're like two different teams.
It doesn't make any sense, though.
No, that'll warm up. They'll get it rolling at home. Because against the Central Division last year, they dominated within the division, 44-29. There's
that double play ball. Cabrera with the flip gets out of the way. Peralta takes care of it nicely.
For the 46th time, the Indians turn a double play, which leads the league in that department.
Dye moves on to third, but now 2 are away for A.J. Pierzynski.
He got upstairs and tried to get on top of a high one, but he was a little tardy on it. Tried to hit it the other way, so it's a 4-6-3.
That is the very illustration of beating one into the ground. Now A.J. Pierzynski steps in. And Carl Pavano has thrown a first pitch strike now to all 7 hitters to start the game.
Well, that's when Pavano gets ahead of hitters, he knows how to put them away. When he gets ahead 0-2, they're hitting 138. When he's ahead 1-2, they're hitting 0-74. It's when he falls behind 2-0, 2-1 is when they're up over the 300 mark.
And that's probably the case with a lot of pitchers, unless you're talking about a guy who just has filthy, overpowering stuff.
Which he doesn't. He just moves it around and mixes it up and keeps him off balance. So he's aggressive, though. That's what I like about him. I mean, he gets up there and he doesn't mess around. Let's go. You can find out in a hurry.
2-strike pitch, yanked deep right field. On the run is Chu. He makes the catch deep in the corner. And the inning is over. So the White Sox start the inning with back-to-back hits, but the rally fizzles. We go. Where the Indians have the early 2-0 lead. Looks can be deceiving. It looks like it's a gorgeous evening.
It is.
But you need a jacket, maybe even a little blanket. It is a tad on the chilly side. 55 degrees was our game time temperature. Just a light breeze blowing in. As Ben Francisco looks at a first pitch strike, leading off inning number 2. Ben has hit in 2 straight games and 7 of his last 8 overall.
Benny's been a running machine this year. He's stolen 6 bases. Has been caught just 1 time.
Now Floyd with the 2-1 pitch. And that's lined toward right center field. Long run for Lillibridge. He won't get it. It'll short hop the fence. Into second is Francisco. He had a big wide berth going into the bag, but decided to hold with the leadoff double. He had angled himself up perfectly to try and go for 3. But once the outfielders got to it quickly and there were no bobbles or missteps, he wisely hung at second base.
Well, I'll tell you what, that looked like a fastball away, unless it was a cutter. It was down, out over the plate. He stayed on it nicely. Gave it a ride. Well, what happens is Jermaine Dye gets up to it after it kicks to him on 1 hop, and that's what stopped him from going for 3. So he cruises into second base, leadoff double, and back come again the Indians.
Now Kelly Shopik stands in. Lays off a first pitch down low. Got his first pitch fastball, but it was out of the strike zone, and he lays off. Trying to get his offensive season jump started. Kelly, 5 hits in his last 28 at-bats. And it's 2-0. And again, Floyd right back to where he was in the first inning, falling behind. And let's see if the Indians can once again take advantage. Back over the screen. In the past, Gavin Floyd was a guy who struggled with the mechanics of his delivery. A couple of years ago, even before he came to Chicago when he was with Philadelphia, his delivery, they say, was a little too quick. And when he rushes, he loses the good bite on the breaking ball. In 2006, they said it was too slow. Fouled out of play.
Well, he's trying to go to the right side. I give him credit. He's trying to push it to the right side. And Floyd knows that, so he's trying to stay hard and in with him. And that's how you combat it. You don't let the guy, now you're going to make him try and pull a ball, so we'll see if he throws him maybe a slow breaking ball. After going inside a couple of times.
With Francisco at second base, the 2-2 is
left it high.
A little bit up. Yep. Full count.
See, that's after you throw him inside. They want him to get out front of that curveball and hit it to the left side and not move the runner from second base. But it was a ball, and Kelly takes it. Now just stay focused.
Floyd's payoff pitch is ball 4.
Good at bat. He was patient.
He's walked his second so far in the game. Before Grady Sizemore steps in, let's step away to the STO studios for a Ford Sports Update. Here's Al.
All right, Matt, Rick, the Cavaliers tonight taking on the Hawks, going for the sweep. Right now, Atlanta up in the second quarter by 2. Cleveland's led by LeBron James with 7 points. Smith has 10 for Atlanta. There's about 9 minutes to go before halftime. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Al. I mentioned Carl Pavano has faced 7 White Sox hitters, and he's thrown first pitch strikes to all 7. Conversely, Gavin Floyd has faced 9 Indians hitters, and he's yet to throw a first pitch strike.
Well, that's why they have had base runners galore. It certainly has helped.
Sizemore thought about a bunt, but again, Floyd misses with that first pitch.
You know, there comes a point in time where, you start nibbling. That's going to get you in trouble. If you're missing and you're a little erratic, okay. But you figure out of 10 hitters, you got to find strike one once, don't you? That could be just a case of trying to be too fine.
His 40th pitch of the ball game misses again, 2-0. And at some point, he's going to start getting frustrated if he already hasn't. And that just leads to more problems. That man is never frustrated. Ozzie Guillen is about as cool a customer as they come, but he will blow his top from time to time as well.
Now Floyd has had 4 2-0 counts tonight, and you're only in the second inning. That's a tough way to pitch. I mean, hitters start shrinking the strike zone when they get it in their favor. They can keyhole you and look for something in their zone. They lay off your good pitches.
The 2-1 delivery now is popped, foul, out of play. You think about it, Rick, and Guillen is a bit of a rarity, he and Lou Piniella, in that they're managers who were not former catchers. Most of the managers, it seems like the majority, are former catchers. You've got one, Bud Black, who's a former pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys always seem to have a little more patience with the pitchers. It's the former position players like you. You don't have as much patience when it comes to the pitchers. Now the 2-2. And Sizemore is out looking for out number 1. So Floyd has had 2 strikeouts in 2 key situations so far here tonight.
Yeah, both of them with runners in scoring position. And Grady takes a breaking ball right there, middle of the plate.
That's that big overhand
Just
curve.
locked him up. He couldn't pull the trigger.
And so with the 1 out, Asdrubal Cabrera will now be the batter. Cabrera drew a walk his first time up. Two on, 1 out in the second. Tribe already up 2-0. And that's up high, 2-0. Our great clip of the game from yesterday. Even though they were down in the 9th, they did not go quietly thanks to Asdrubal Cabrera, who drove one beyond the reach of Curtis Granderson. Relax, you're at Great Clips. 1-0 pitch. Fouled back to even the count.
Boy, pitch you left belt high, maybe just a hair too high. But that's a good rip at a pitch that you leave up in the zone. You see, they don't miss it. The hitter's eyes sort of like widen when they see something up there.
Down low, 2 balls and a strike. And that's the one thing I remember Derek Shelton saying about Cabrera that's different this year from a season ago. When he's in those good hitters' counts, he will let the bat go and let her rip. But when the count comes back to even, then he'll shorten that stroke and get back to the good fundamental approach.
He should. That's the way you do it.
But he pops this one up. Shallow center. Brent Lillibridge. He'll make the grab. Runners hold 2 down. Well, if you're thinking about getting married in the very near future, here's an idea. Stop by Alvin's Jewelers and buy your engagement ring there, because then if it rains on your wedding day, your engagement ring is absolutely free. Log on to alvinsjewelers.com for all the details in their Pray for Rain promotion. Now it's up to Victor Martinez to try and take care of business here in the second inning. Otherwise, this rally may fizzle. First 2 reached, but now 2 are out. Victor has hit in 17 of his last 19 games. And he takes a strike. Coming into today's play, no one in Major League Baseball has reached base more times than Victor Martinez. He and Marco Scudero of Toronto began the day tied. They both reached 67 times so far to start the year. And for Martinez, what that means is he's been on base safely in 32 of the 33 games. Let me check that, make sure. Yep, no, 31 of the 32. Victor did take 1 game off so far this year. Fouls it away. He's looking back like, did I just do that?
No, you know what? Either he wasn't looking for that pitch, so I don't know why he swung at it. It's almost like he had 2 strikes on him and he was just trying to stay alive.
2 on, 2 out, 0-2 count. Time called by Pierzynski, the White Sox catcher. Now the 0-2. And he got him. So the rally does indeed fizzle. Floyd strikes out a pair, and through 2, it remains 2-0 Cleveland. Catch the reflection of the Terrace Club. 2-0 drive, go to the third inning. A little cotton candy. Wonder if that's heated cotton candy. Josh Fields, Alexi Ramirez, and Chris Getz to bat in the third for Chicago. Through 2 innings, Carl Pavano has made 23 pitches. His counterpart, Gavin Floyd, has made 51. And another first pitch strike. That's 8 in a row for Pavano. Josh Fields batting just .243, but he's been on base safely in 22 of his 27 games this year. Inside out swing, fouls it down into the lower deck. Up high. Pavano in his last 2 starts has gone 2-0 with a 2.70 earned run average.
Josh Fields, he leads this team in strikeouts with 33 this year in 103 at-bats. Taking over at third base for Joe Crady, who signed with the Minnesota Twins, who was a free agent.
Grounded in the hole just past Peralta. And a leadoff single for Chicago, their 3rd hit tonight.
Well, he kept his hands back enough on that changeup where he hit it hard, took a big bounce, goes off the glove of Peralta into left field. So that's the 3rd hit, the 2nd straight inning that they've had their leadoff man aboard.
And now the struggling Alexi Ramirez batting 9th. Hitting just .198. 0 for his last 6. And he rockets one foul on the left side. Ramirez was last year's Rookie of the Year runner-up when he belted 21 homers and drove in 77 for Chicago. But you see his numbers thus far on the year.
Well, they certainly did not expect him to be down in the number 9 hole. And maybe to take some pressure off him, but he has struggled early. This is a talented guy.
Ground ball to short. Backhanded by Johnny. Gets the force at second on a nice job by Cabrera to hang in there. 1 down. Ramirez at first. And now we'll go to the top of the order. And Chris Getz.
Well, only one play, and that's going to get the lead runner. Johnny picks it up and throws it over to Cabrera, and they do. Just in time. Well, that's where you got to go straight in as a base. If you're running the bases, you go in there as hard and as fast as you can, to straight to the base. His foot came up and went over, and gave him a little more time.
Yeah, you could see, and that's his job. Fields really got into Cabrera's leg and kicked that leg right off the bag.
Yeah, but he's not even going to have a chance to turn the double play. I'm saying to try and beat that throw. If you're the base runner, go straight to the bag and try and get in. They weren't going to turn a double play with Ramirez running.
Chris Getz flied out to left his first time up. And shoots it back foul. 0-2 the count.
Watch his front leg as he's going in. You got to stay. He should have slid a little sooner.
Right into
he knocks it off. That was a late slide by him. If he gets down a little earlier, you may have a chance to try and beat that ball into second base.
Good news for his Drupal. It looked like Fields was wearing the molded rubber cleats and not the metal spikes. Otherwise, that could have left a mark.
Even those rubber cleats will leave a mark.
As Drupal has done a terrific job, though, converting from shortstop to everyday second baseman. Back to the mound it goes. Pavano gets one there, and Johnny had trouble getting it out of the mitt, so they won't turn the double play. Now, Getz can run well. He gets down the line in a hurry, but I believe that had Johnny
double play
fielded
ball.
The transfer cleanly, he would have turned too.
No doubt. You have to turn it. I mean, that's a double play ball that gets you out of the inning. Pavano did everything in his power. He made a very good throw right on target, and in the transfer, almost threw it in the dugout. Victor gets up to save him. He can get down the line, but that's a double play ball. So they'll get an extra out in this inning.
And Brent Lillibridge will be the batter, 0 for 1. Sometimes it's those nagging little things that continue to hold a team back. See if Pavano can pick his shortstop up and.
Well, yeah, that's what you need. You got to pick him up, and there they go, off and running, and you see.
Shopping with a great throw, and they got him. Gets gunned down by the right arm of Kelly Shopping. And the inning is over. It remains Cleveland 2, Chicago nothing. Of the Indians as we move now to the bottom half of inning number 3 here at Progressive Field. Shin-Soo Choo, Mark DeRosa, and Johnny Peralta for the Tribe. Pitch is down low for ball 1. Choo, an RBI single his first time up. In the air, left field. Back goes Quinton. And he'll grab it one away.
Well, vote for your favorite Tribe players for this summer's All-Star game. You can vote online at Indians.com at Progressive Field or at an Indians team shop. Fans who vote online will automatically be entered for a chance to win tickets for a dugout suite for a game this season.
That brings up Mark DeRosa, an opposite field RBI double his first time up. He drove one just over the head of Jermaine Dye in right field back in the first. And a ground ball up the gut. Gets with a backhander and the throw, and he got him. Well, a nice play by Chris Getz. Second time tonight he's taken a hit away from an Indians batter.
Well, that's very good range. You're right. He got Victor Martinez back in the first inning. He gets DeRosa here. Pretty good range. And he was able to get something, or at least enough on that throw to get to Rosa. On the jump, good play. Look at Floyd saying, yes, indeed.
Floyd has really righted the ship on the fly here. He gave up a double and a walk to start the second inning. Since then, he's retired 5 in a row.
Well, they let him off the hook. Again, he had 2 more strikeouts with runners in scoring position, so all 3 of his punch-outs have come at the right time.
And Peralta down on the count, 0-2. Floyd delivers. Tried for the inside corner breaking ball and missed. And the 1-2. That breaking ball hung, and Peralta able to rope it in the left field for a 2-out single.
Hung him a breaking ball. Johnny jumped all over it. Wants it down and away, and he just left that one high, belt high. Yeah, and we'll get a base hit for the Indians. That's hit number 5 now.
David DeLucci grounded out to first, his first time up. He's up with a 2-out base runner here in the 3rd. High fly ball, left center. Quinton, the left fielder, is called off at the last moment by Lillibridge, the center fielder. And the inning is over. 3 complete from Progressive Field. It's Cleveland 2 and Chicago 9. With a 2-0 lead on Chicago as the sun begins to set here in downtown Cleveland. Carl Pavano has done a terrific job so far. 33 pitches through 3 innings. What he's been able to do so far tonight is throw first pitch strikes and get ahead.
Well, the first time through the lineup, he threw 9 straight first pitch strikes, and they swung at 2 of them. But on the season this year, first time through the lineups, teams are hitting 245 off Pavano. The second time through, it goes up to 364. So we'll see if they make an adjustment or maybe sit on that changeup.
Yeah, let me ask you, if you're a hitter in the opposing dugout and you see a guy throw 9 first pitch strikes first time through the lineup, does that indicate to you automatically be aggressive in the count?
I would.
No?
I mean, yeah, if you're sitting and watching how he's throwing other right-handers, if you're a right-handed hitter, you go out there and you say, well, what did he start you off with? And you know what he started you off with. You just look in and see if there's any tendencies you can find. But I would certainly be ready to swing the bat on the first pitch if you like it. You know, now you're going to be looking at possibly first pitch fastball. If he throws you that changeup, you take it. I mean, if you sit on a pitch and you look for it and you get it, go ahead and get after it first pitch. But, I mean, if he throws you something different, you don't swing at it.
Well, that's the hard thing, though, isn't it? When you're a hitter and you're sitting on the fastball, because the changeup, if it's thrown well, looks exactly like the fastball coming out of the hand.
Well, that's true. But a guy is not going to start you off with a changeup necessarily unless he knows you're a dead red hitter. You know, usually he's going to save that when he has somebody on base or when he gets to that situation.
1-2 ground ball. Cabrera from the grass. 1 away. Time now to check out our Subway Fresh Face of the Game. Michael Brantley, center fielder at Columbus for the Clippers. Not only is he doing it with the bat, but check out what he did with the glove on Saturday.
He had to snatch him back.
This is highlight reel worthy.
Special.
He looks for the wall and times it perfectly.
Nicely done. Almost like Curtis Granderson here Friday night.
This is in the air, right field. Cabrera says, I'll take it, and he does. Second baseman puts it away, 2 down. Senior PGA Championship Challenge keyword of the day is what I know well, slice. If you want a chance to win tickets to the Senior PGA along with autographed flags from previous champs, log on to stohd.com, click on the banner, fill it out, use the keyword slice. 20 winners will be selected.
You told me Jimmy Hanlon straightened your slice out. He did in spring training the last time we played.
He did, but I'm still saying it's a word I know all too well.
Did you forget the tip already?
Yeah, I haven't played in so long now, I can't even remember. Jermaine Dye had a base hit, his first time up tonight, leading off the second inning. I know what it was now.
You'll get it.
I think.
It comes back. Unless you want to keep losing balls to the right.
Don't sway in the backswing. Stand firm on your right leg.
1-1 the same as hitting. You don't want to move your body. It's the same thing. In batting,
it's a good point.
When you're hitting the baseball, you know, your body starts moving. You get in trouble, your bat gets slower.
When you stride toward the pitch, if your top half leans.
Yeah, don't follow, and your hands will follow,
Yeah.
and that makes your bat a little bit slower. You stay back on your backside, let that front foot just stand up and down.
You know, in all the years you played without the use of videotape, how in the world did you guys ever figure out what was going wrong with your swing at times?
Not that tough, man. I mean, what videotape? How did you ever live without a cell phone? I mean, seriously. What, are you getting goofy on me or what?
2-2 pitch. Bounce to
See
third.
a ball and hit it.
DeRosa will throw him out. You walked around with a pocket full of quarters for all the payphones. 1, 2, 3 go the White Sox. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's Just off the shores of Lake Erie, Progressive Field tonight, where the Indians lead the White Sox 2-0, heading to the bottom of the fourth inning. Ben Francisco leads off and looks at a ball outside from Gavin Floyd, who has now made 61 pitches on the night. He got through the third inning on just 9 pitches after making 28 in the first and then 23 in the second. He misses up high, 2-1. Gavin Floyd, born in Annapolis, Maryland. Big bouncing ball to short. Alexi Ramirez throws him out, 1 down. Let's send you back to the STO studios once again for another Ford Sports Update with Al.
All right, Matt, the Cavaliers have the lead at the half now on the Hawks in game 4 of this best-of-7 series. Cavaliers going for the sweep tonight. LeBron James leads the good guys with 12 points. Cavs by 2 at the half. Back to you.
Boy, Al, it just seems like the Cavs have the hammer down right now.
Yes, it is.
They are full throttle and not looking back. Just about every other series I've seen is...
Well, Denver's 3-0 too.
Oh, are they? Okay.
In their series, the other locked in at 2.
Yeah, the
tied
Lakers.
2 apiece. Lakers in Houston, and then you got the Celtics in Orlando.
How about your guy Aaron Brooks of the Rockets? Came to the press conference last night with the red tuxedo jacket and the red bow tie.
I didn't see that. Did not see
classic.
that. Hey,
yeah.
I love him. He's quick as a cat.
Yeah, he's having a good series. Kelly Shopik, 1 ball, 1 strike. He drew a walk his first time up.
And at that time, I'll tell you, that was a big walk because it was the leadoff double by Francisco. And he ended up trying to shoot him to the right side to move that runner across and ended up laying off a tough 3-2 little slider or cutter that missed off the plate. But then Floyd settled down. He struck out 2 out of the next 3 guys, and they couldn't add on to that 2-run first inning. And I thought that's a big part of the game right there, where you at least got to get somebody over and get at least 1 in.
Swung on and missed, and the count goes full. That was a good fastball, and Kelly went after it. But he kept it away on the outside part of the plate. Now Floyd's payoff pitch. This is one of those starts for a pitcher. I can almost hear his post-game quotes already. I was fighting myself. I was having a tough time repeating my delivery, because this is what starting pitchers go through. There are some nights where they come out and they'll tell you the ball was coming out of my hand free and easy, and it
may happen maybe 1/3 of your time, maybe 10 times out of your 30 starts. The other 20 you're going to have to grind.
This is lined to center field, a base hit for Kelly Shopik. 1 on, 1 out now for Grady Sizemore.
But he's been able to work his way through it. I mean, he's been able to make pitches when he has had to.
Well, getting out of that second inning certainly has turned the night around for Floyd when he took care of Grady Sizemore after the first 2 had reached. And then he got Cabrera and Martinez to end the inning. Now he'll have to deal with Sizemore for the 3rd time tonight. Grady has a single and a run scored. And then he was called out on strikes in that second inning on that big curveball, the overhand breaker that dropped in for strike 3.
I look at both Shopik and Grady as good low ball hitters. When that ball gets down, just like that base hit Shopik just hit, when that ball's mid-thigh to down, these guys, they hurt it. When that ball's elevated a little bit higher, they just don't catch up to it.
Now, let me ask you the follow-up to that. Is that a mechanical flaw, or is that just the way they're built?
Well, I don't know. That's just the way they like to. They're low ball hitters. You know, Grady, for me right now, he's a little pull happy. We gave you a number on, I think it was Friday. He's only had 1 hit to left field this year, and that was back when we were in Kansas City. the 15th of April. You know, and you like to see Grady going left center, right center. His home runs, he's going to get his share. But to me, he's getting a little pull happy. And that's what happens. You end up trying to get that outside pitch and pull it.
See Kelly Shopik rubbing his hip right there. He took off on that ball in the dirt and had an awkward stop and turn around to go back to first as you look at the hits by direction.
See that?
For Sizemore.
22 to right field. I'd like to see a little more going the other way.
Check swing foul up the third base side. And we even up at 2-2.
I'd like to send out a happy birthday wish to Polka Ron Kazmarek, who is 74 today. Ron works here at the Indians down outside the batting cages. So
Polka
Ron, happy birthday, pal.
2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball past the first baseman, and it's just foul. Konerko couldn't get to it. And it's good for him and the White Sox, because otherwise that was extra bases, and Shopik may have been able to score because it was a slow, big bouncing ball down the line.
We'll get a look from high above and see if we can tell from this angle. It did look foul, and it is just barely. Jerry Meals at first was right on that call.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Straighten him up inside with a good fastball. As Drupal Cabrera waits on deck. Here's a 3-2. And it's roped at first, and Konerko gloves it quickly. Shopik able to get back to the bag. Grady could not have hit it any harder. And his tough luck continues.
Well, right into the tracks. I mean, Konerko, that ball caught him. That ball smoked. And you see he's getting off the bag. Shopik not running, and I think wisely. If he doesn't catch that ball, it may drill Shopik. Look at him. He was ducking to get out of the way. That ball was right at him, but that'll go as out number 2, and it was a bullet.
As Drupal Cabrera fly to center his first time up. Looks at ball one up high. Indians with a half dozen hits so far. Their 2 runs came in the first inning. Special hello goes out tonight to Tom Williams from the Youngstown Country Club. He's brought a group up here tonight.
Youngstown Country Club?
Yeah.
What's that, back in Tommy Bowe's neck of the woods?
That's right.
Speaking of country clubs, he was out. He had dinner yesterday at Mother's Day out at the country club.
That's the kind of lifestyle he leads.
Well, no doubt about it. He makes all the money.
Up the gut. It's going to get by Getz this time. Shopik will stop at second. As Drupal Cabrera has his first hit of the night. They had to test him 3 times before they could finally get one past him. But Getz, who has shown good range already here tonight, couldn't quite catch up to this one.
Well, they have had at least one hit in every inning so far today. This one's straight up the middle. So with 2 outs, runners at first and second, it'll give Victor another chance. He had a chance back in the second inning with 2 outs, the same situation. And he ended up striking out.
Missed inside with the pitch, 1-0. If you joined us later, you're bouncing back and forth tonight. Victor Martinez said after yesterday's loss, don't point the finger at Eric Wedge, the manager, point the finger at me. Point the finger at the players. It's us. We're the ones who go out there and play. we need to get things turned around and do a better job on the field. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2-0 the count. And I mentioned to you earlier, there's been talk about leadership, and that to me is a surefire sign of leadership when your best player steps forward and says something like that. Hey, point the finger at me. Point the finger at us as the players. We need to get things done. We need to do a better job.
The players just start playing with a little more confidence and relax is what they have to do.
3-0. Martinez with a 3-0 count. If he should reach, then Shin-Soo Choo would be next.
Well, we'll see. Victor, it seems like always has the green light on a 3-0 count, but I'd just like to see him make this guy work. Because right now, he doesn't know exactly where that ball is going, and he hasn't all night long, but just continue to make him work, suck up some more pitches, and try and move it on down the line for the next guy on deck.
It's high, ball 4, so the bases are loaded with 2 out here in the 4th inning, and before Choo steps in, here's Tribe manager Eric Wedge and his thoughts on his players so far this year.
Everybody keeps hitting me up on how many games we played, and, when does it get too late or is it too early? It's never too late, all right? As long as you're still in it, it's never too late. But I do know that we've only played 30 games, and I know we've got to get a lot better. But I'm here to tell everybody that these guys come to the ballpark each and every day to do that. And if you could feel the attitude, the energy, and the atmosphere, in this dugout throughout the course of 9 innings or however many innings we play, that's real.
Eric Wedge has never been a guy to hit the panic button or to point fingers. I mean, he has said over and over again, hey, I'll take the responsibility for how this team plays when things go badly. But he really believes, when it's not rhetoric, he really believes this team can still get back in this thing. Bases loaded, 2 down. Shin-Soo Choo drives one into right field. That'll bring home Shopik. Here comes Cabrera. Dives, throw to the plate is cut off. It's a 2-out, 2-run single for Choo. He's driven in 3 on the night, and it's 4-0 Cleveland. Boy, those 2-out RBI hits, so special. And they certainly helped the Indians here in the 4th inning.
Well, he didn't waste any time. He jumped right on that first pitch. He figured that pitching coach comes out, tells you, let's go get ahead of him. It looked like a changeup that was down out over the plate. Choo able to turn on it. He stayed back nicely. Kept the hands back, hit a bullet, so he is now 2 for 3. 3 ribbies, so that's a big hit for the Indians right there. That's in the middle part of the game, and it's a little add-on.
7th man to bat in the inning is Mark DeRosa. And an off-speed pitch in there for a strike. White Sox bullpen is getting busy. 87 pitches already tonight for Floyd, with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. It's been a rough go for the White Sox right-hander. And he just drilled DeRosa to reload the bases. Not sure where that hit, Mark. Looked like it initially was on the wrist.
Yeah,
sure
the wrist
did.
or the hand. It looked like.
Let's take one
For
more
Floyd,
look.
that is the first batter he has hit this year. And there it is. Just on the forearm is where it got DeRosa. Mark DeRosa was hit for the first time, and the Indians now have been hit 24 times.
Leading the American League. Last year hit a franchise and major league record 103.
Yes, indeed.
So they're on pace for over 116 now this year.
Oh, they'll get it. They got targets on them.
So they're reloaded with 2 down for Johnny Peralta, who had a base hit with 2 outs his last time up. And he socks another one into center field. That brings home Martinez. Here comes Choo. He's going to score, and it's another 2-out, 2-run single for the Tribe. It's a 4-run 4th, and they now lead it 6-0. So perhaps that 3-hit performance yesterday for Peralta, even though he didn't hit any of those balls hard, has really turned the luck in his favor because his last 2 hits have been solid line drive singles.
Well, there's a pitch up in the zone, and the guys are taking advantage of some bad pitches. But I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful thing when you get those 2 out base hits. You continue to add on. You can see those guys out in the bullpen cheering. It's funny because they were standing up saying, way to go. They love it, man. You get some extra hits.
Now DeLucci lines one, and it's caught by Getz to end the inning. Indians bat around. They score 4. And after 4, it's now Cleveland 6, Chicago nothing.
Hard, eat fresh. By AM/PM, too much good stuff. And by Altel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network.
We go now to the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. And the Indians hold the 6-0 advantage over the White Sox. Jim Thome will lead it off for Chicago. Base hit his first time up.
Well, Carl Pavano continues to pound the strike zone. That was pitch number 46. He has thrown 35 strikes. He is 14 for 14 first pitch strikes. How about that?
That's
pretty nice,
impressive.
isn't it? Yes, it is.
Pretty impressive.
I mean, you go home, and I mean, for kids out there, that's the key. Throw strikes, and it's not like he's just throwing it down the middle.
Now time is called before the 0-2 pitch.
It's a case in point where he's mixing it up and he's hitting good spots.
Bounced foul. This is Pavano's first home start since he faced the Twins here at Progressive Field. And in that game, he gave up 5 runs on 11 hits in 5 innings of work. And when he came out of the game, he slammed his glove down. He knocked over some cups and sunflower seeds in the dugout, and our cameras caught that frustration. And ever since then, he's really turned his season around. Leadoff single by Thome. Let's check out our Altel text poll question of the game once again. The Indians' great teams of the 1990s. Who do you think the best overall hitter on those teams were? Was it Jim Thome, Manny Ramirez, Albert Bell, Carlos Baerga? Text your answer to 31962. Results coming up later in the game. Konerko lines one into left center. And Jim Thome's going to go for third, and he will get in there. So White Sox at the corners to start the 5th inning.
Well, there you see Konerko jumped on that first pitch. He's not going to get spotted, and there's one away. And he stayed aggressive. Put a good swing on it, gets a base hit. Had Grady thrown that ball to third, Konerko, who is a very slow runner, would have been on second base. But you hit your cutoff man, and he had to hold up at first. So you still have a double play in order.
A.J. Pierzynski flied out to right his first time up, and he goes after the first pitch and fouls it away.
Very aggressive hitter with runners in scoring position. But this guy is the toughest in the league to strike out, believe it or not, for a catcher. He finds a way to put the ball in play. Remember you asked me about that first pitch, do you throw a changeup? He started them off a changeup because there's a man on third base.
Threw it again, and Pierzynski couldn't help himself. It's 0-2. So now the question, do you triple up?
Why not? Throw another one in the dirt, see if he wants to go after it. 0-2. He couldn't hold up there. He chased it. He'll go into protect mode now.
Just so enticing coming out of the hand.
That's when you're up in the box. What am I doing? That was clueless. Why did I even swing at that pitch? Once you got it started, you figure, okay, I'm going to continue. Maybe I'll put it in play, but that was not a good pitch.
First and third, nobody out. Top of the fifth. Tribe leads by a half dozen. 0-2 pitch to Pierzynski.
There you go. And look at Pierzynski shaking his head. He knows. And being a catcher, you got to figure he knows he's going to call another one because I look so bad because I do the same thing to myself.
What would I call if I were me?
Right. I'm telling you, catchers, you think like that sometimes. Let's go with a fastball and we'll get it up and out just to show him one.
In the air, left center, base hit. Cut off by Francisco. Konerko's going to go to third. And the White Sox are on the board as Thome comes home. Pierzynski with his 10th RBI on the year. And 3 straight singles to start the fifth for Chicago.
There's a pitch that was right there. Out over the plate. Pierzynski just stayed on it, but he was looking for the fastball. So the White Sox on the board. They now have 6 hits, 3 consecutive singles here in this fifth.
And Josh Fields, who had a base hit his first time up, is now the batter. Out of play, 0-1. Fields, the Oklahoma native, former first-round pick of the White Sox back in 2004. Another one of those good all-around athletes. He was a star quarterback for Oklahoma State. In fact, he set the Cowboys record with 55 touchdown passes before his senior year. 3-year letterman at Oklahoma State.
Well, he's got to be careful here. 0-2.
Swung on and missed. Pavano gets his second strikeout of the night and one down here in the fifth.
Well, this Memorial Day, it'll be Monday, May 25th, and the Indians will take on the Rays at a special 6:05 start time. All fans in attendance will receive a Tribe Grill apron. Field box tickets for this game only $25. May 25th, the Rays will be in town. We will see Tampa this weekend. And I said he had to be careful on that 0-2 pitch because he had both Thome and Pierzynski down in the count 0-2 in this inning, and they both singled.
And a strike is called on Alexi Ramirez to even the count. Alexi Ramirez first caught the eye of White Sox general manager Kenny Williams back in the '06 World Baseball Classic when playing for Cuba. And then when he defected to the Dominican Republic, Williams pursued him aggressively. And a ground ball to third, backhanded, stopped by DeRosa, and the throw, he got him. A run does score, but now 2 are out. And that's one of those plays that could completely change the complexion of the game. If that gets by DeRosa, it's extra bases, another run is in, maybe 2 runs, and they still only have 1 out in the inning. Now there's 2 down.
Yeah.
And it may be a bit of a momentum killer.
Well, it keeps the inning from moving on, and you're right, some momentum building. A nice defensive play like that. Now Ramirez, for a guy who's struggling, he's frustrated. Look at him, I can't buy a hit. They do get their second run in, but the big thing is they get the second out.
Now Chris Getz 0 for 2 steps in.
Ooh.
Fouled right off the mask of Dale Scott, who staggered back a few steps.
Yeah, look at him. He's taking a deep breath. Those catchers, they jump right on it, don't they? They know because
Rick, we've seen this a number of times now already this year.
Yes, we have. We saw it in New York.
Just one of those years for umpires.
It's staggering, man. Boy, and the catcher knows it because he's right there. It would just whiz by his head. Hey, you all right? Let me take a second.
Strike called inside corner. 1-2 the count. Runner at second with 2 down here in the 5th. Tribe on top 6-2. Just missed in tight with it. Man, it evens things up now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, he's not giving in, is he? He's pounding, stayed in there, and now after going in there, doubling up in there, he's got a chance to go back to that changeup away if he wants. There it was.
Took the sting out of his bat. Grady Sizemore will make the catch. And the inning is over. The White Sox get on the board. They score a pair. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Now 6-2 Cleveland. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Progressive Field, where the Indians lead the White Sox 6-2. Tribe batted around in the fourth inning, so it'll be Ben Francisco to start it off again here in inning number 5. Gavin Floyd starts the inning at 90 pitches on the night. And a first pitch strike to Francisco, who doubled his first time up, grounded out to short in the fourth. Foul tipped. 1-2 the count. Your Major League Baseball scoreboard is courtesy of Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Fastball away. Evens the count at 2-2. Francisco's now hit in 3 straight games. High pop left field. Coming in is Quinton. 1 away. Your kids can join Josh Cribb at Cleveland Browns Stadium to play football like the pros. Browns football camp, June 22nd through the 26th. Space is limited. Sign your kids up today at clevelandbrowns.com. Here is Kelly Shopik. He has walked, singled, and scored a run. And he swings through a fastball. 0-1. One on one the count on Floyd, who really had to struggle tonight, or has really had to fight hard through his struggles to stay in the game.
Yeah, he's about 54% strikes tonight. Nice play. Again, this guy, we've tested him a couple times, and he's been up for the task. Only once have they been able to get a ball by him up there at second.
That's the third time tonight that Getz has made a terrific play.
Well, the Bud Light Party Deck is Progressive Field's best party area. Game tickets start at $40, and they include all-you-can-eat buffet and a fantastic view from the right field location. You can call 216-420-HITS for information. And as the weather starts getting nicer, actually by next homestand, it should be very, very nice.
Brady Sizemore looked at a fastball that took off on him. Tribe heading out on the
longest trip of the year. Yeah.
10-game road trip. Go to Tampa, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. Grady with a drive, deep center field. Lillibridge back. He's running out of room, but he makes the catch about a stride in front of the bullpen for out number 3. Boy, Grady just can't catch a break on this homestand. Tribe goes 1-2-3. 6-2 advantage over the White Sox. And moving now to the 6th inning of play. Carl Pavano will face Brent Lillibridge, Carlos Quinton, and Jermaine Dye. Pitch missed for ball one. Lillibridge 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs tonight.
Now, Pavano very tighty. Just 66 pitches, and he's into the 6th inning right now, or starting it.
And another strike in there for Pavano, who has thrown a ton of them tonight. 51 out of his 67 pitches have been for strikes. Lillibridge is a guy who has gone back and forth from the leadoff spot. 8 times he's led off for Ozzie Guillen's club this year. Now, they're 6-2 in those 8 times he's been in the leadoff spot, but he's only batted 4 for 32 in that leadoff spot.
Well, Ozzie just wants something, some speed up there to separate it. He wants somebody that can run a little bit, that can steal some bases, to get on base for the big boys so they can do some damage. If you get these guys out and then you have to face those big boys, with nobody on base, it makes it such a much easier lineup to face. Because if you make your pitches to those big guys, you can get them out, you can strike them out, and if they get you a single, it's no big deal. They're going to clog you up on the bases. He did hold up. That was definitely a check swing.
So a 3-2 count as Lillibridge leads off the 6th inning. And did he go too far? They appeal and they ring him up. Well, I think they could have had him either way. It looked like a pretty good pitch to begin with.
Yeah, I thought it was a strike more than when he swung.
But first base umpire Jerry Meals thought he went too far on the appeal, and that is out number 1. White Sox obviously not in agreement.
Take a look. I thought the pitch was pretty good, but it is in off the plate. Now, I didn't look at the swing. Okay, that's what he called it for. That one was a little more.
Back goes Ben Francisco, and that is out number 2 off the bat of Carlos Quinton. This game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Shin-Soo Choo with an RBI hit in the first inning made it 1-zip. Then he drove in 2 more in the 4th to make it 4-0. And then later in that inning, also with 2 outs, Johnny Peralta with a 2-out, 2-run single to make it 6-0 Tribe. White Sox have scored 2 since to cut the deficit to 4. But in that 4th inning, both Choo and Peralta had 2-out, 2-run hits. Jermaine Dye 1 for 2 with a single. And he's down on the count, 0-2 to Carl Pavano, who has just been a strike throwing machine. This will be his 75th pitch of the night coming up right here. Looks like a changeup. Last year, the White Sox were 11-7 against the Indians en route to capturing the Central Division crown. In the air, Cabrera racing over, but Martinez will grab it just inside the line, and the inning is over. Pavano sets down the White Sox in order. He's retired 6. Sixth inning here at Progressive Field. Indians in front 6-2. Gavin Floyd at 100 pitches will stay on to work here in the sixth inning and fires a first pitch curveball to Asdrubal Cabrera for a strike. Cabrera singled and scored his last time up. He's hit now in 12 of his last 13 games. And there's a line drive up the middle. Asdrubal's second hit of the night, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard. Time now for the All Care Dental and Denture Smiling Easy Cam. Despite the struggles of the Indians, crowd in a good mood at the outset, and they have been bolstered by the Tribe's performance here tonight. With 17 locations across northeastern Ohio, All Care Dental and Dentures make seeing the dentist easy. Victor Martinez, 0 for 2. He's been on base twice tonight and scored 2 runs. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first, robbed of a hit by second baseman Chris Getz. Then walked and scored his last time up. Gavin Floyd nearing the end of the line here tonight, over 100 pitches. Floyd was a former first-round pick of the Philadelphia Phillies back in 2001. He was the 4th overall selection. Runner goes. And he is going to be in there safely. Asdrubal Cabrera with his 6th stolen base of the year. He got a good jump. And he's in scoring position now for Victor Martinez.
Yeah, and we told you they should be aggressive, especially now when they have a lead. That's 32 out of 33. Base runners have swiped off the Sox this year. He gets in there. The hand, then the foot comes in. So he's been very good this year. He's 6 and hasn't been caught. Francisco has stolen 6, been caught 1 time. Chu is 6-0.
Bounced foul over along the first base side. There you see the double barrel action in the White Sox bullpen. Jimmy Gobble was just activated today onto the big league roster when they sent Jose Contreras down. Reportedly from ESPNChicago.com, it was Jose Contreras who suggested to the White Sox that he be sent back to the minors instead of going to the bullpen so he could try and work things out. Ground ball headed up the middle. It's into center field. Coming around third is Asdrubal Cabrera. He will score. Martinez with his 20th run batted in of the year. And the Indians now lead it 7-2.
And that's going to do it for Gavin Floyd. Ozzie Guillen out of the dugout, already made the call.
Victor's first hit of the night. Plating Asdrubal Cabrera, who scores his 2nd run of the ball game.
Tried to get one inside. Victor just hits it right back up the middle. Gets it in, gets him over and in. So he gets the bonus, and Floyd will head to the showers.
We've got a timeout here at Progressive Field with our score. Cleveland 7, Chicago 2.
As Gobble comes in to warm up, I want to remind you every Wednesday home game features a local charity. Every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity. And the Indians want you to fill a house this Wednesday for Our Lady of the Wayside, which is a great, great cause. Visit Indians.com/fill the house. That's Wednesday. It'll be a 12:05 game, last game of the homestand.
Jimmy Gobble just called up from AAA Charlotte after they sent Jose Contreras to the minors.
Well, he's no stranger to the Indians because he spent 6 years in the Kansas City Royals organization.
6'3", 210-pound left-hander, 22-23, and over 235 games. 43 of those were starts.
Well, in his best year, he came in 07. You remember, you know, he went 4-1, but it seemed like every time we played the Royals, this guy came in to face Grady and Hafner.
Yeah.
It seemed like all year long, didn't it?
Yeah, he appeared in 74 games that year.
Yes, he did.
Chu taps it foul. Meanwhile, no one knows what to make of Jose Contreras or what the future may hold for him. At 37 years old, he was 0-5 with an 8.19 ERA in 6 starts this year. He gave up 40 hits in 27 innings.
You know, I remember when he scuffled before and he got it back. That splitter that he throws, you know, if he can spot his fastball and get that thing back, it's a field pitch. And he's coming off a severe injury.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
a good point.
And he can go down there, and if he gets it back, he's certainly going to help him. But as you mentioned, the age factor.
Yeah,
he
he's
looks
even
older than 37, I'll tell you that.
The 2-2 to Chu. Swung on and missed, and Gobble gets the first out here in inning number 6. Once again, let's go back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports update. Al, how the Cavs doing?
Well, Matt, hanging in there now with a 5-point lead after 3 quarters, trying to take this one home and sweep the series against the Hawks. James, the leading scorer for the Cavs with 21. Ilgauskas has 13. Delonte West, 12. Josh Smith leads Atlanta with 20. 5-point lead for the Cavs after 3. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Here's Mark DeRosa stepping in. And he promptly lines one into left center field. Victor Martinez will stop at second base. Quinton fires it back in. 2 on, 1 out. DeRosa's second hit of the ball game.
Well, I like this. This is 12 hits now for the Indians. You know what I like about it? They have 2 doubles. The rest of them singles, so they're using the ballpark. This team needs to go a few games like this. Singles, 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 putting up good at-bats, getting double digits and hits, and with come quality at-bats, then things start beginning to travel a little bit better. But I think as a team, you want to see him do this.
Johnny Peralta has 2 of those 12 hits and 2 runs batted in. Up high. Looking at my scorecard, the only one starter without a hit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Look at that, 4, 5, and 6. They've done it. 6 for 10 and 6 ribbies.
Middle of the order has put the meat on the bone tonight. They have done a terrific job.
What are the 4, 5, and 6 grinning like?
Like a one-eyed cat in a seafood store.
Or a butcher's dog.
2 on, 1 out for Johnny Peralta. And a hard ground ball single again for Peralta, his 3rd hit of the night. That's going to bring home Victor Martinez. On his way to 3rd goes DeRosa. 8-2 tried.
Well,
so for the second
back.
straight game, Johnny Peralta has 3 hits. Tonight he's got 3 runs batted in to go along with it. And now, Rick, if you go back over his last 5 games, that's 10 hits in 22 at-bats. So he's starting to put something together now.
Well, there you go. Gets his 3rd straight hit, or 3rd hit
Yeah, you're right. Third straight
Third
hit.
straight, driving in his third run, and that's nice. And back comes Guillen. He's going to make a move.
Interesting because he's got.
Well, Garko was already named as a pinch hitter, I believe.
Yep, Ryan Garko had been announced as the pinch hitter, so Ozzie Guillen will go back to his bullpen. Another timeout here at Progressive Field. 2 runs in for the Tribe, 2 men on base, still only 1 out, and they lead it 8-2. The Indians pinch hitter Ryan Garko. And his right-hander Lance Broadway.
Trying for the 6th time. Again, he was a first rounder, 15th overall back in 2005. Garko 0 for 3 this year as a pinch hitter. The Indians just 2 for 6 as a team.
Ryan Garko sends a high fly ball right field. Back goes Dye. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third and coming home is Mark DeRosa. 9-2 Cleveland. They've scored 3 runs in the inning. 2 are out now as Ryan Garko drives home Mark DeRosa. So a good pinch hit at bat for Ryan Garko gives him 12 runs batted in on the year.
That's exactly what you want to see. Just, execution. Man on third base, get him in. Less than 2 outs, they do it. Now it's a 7-run game.
Remember what we were talking about early in the game, those little games you play during batting practice where you tell the hitter, hey, runner on third, less than 2 out. Get the ball in the air, get him home. Now Ben Francisco sends one in the air. And this will end the inning. But the Indians score 3 times, and after 6 innings of play, they lead the White Sox 9-2. pizza, wings, or one of their famous overstuffed sandwiches on the outdoor patios. Panini's, the best food and outdoor dining in town. Visit paninisgrill.com. So the Indians are up 9-2 now. Tribe offensively, 13 hits in the ballgame, but they got 2 runs in the first inning, so they've been able to play from in front. They picked up 4 more in the 4th inning and then clustered together 3 more in the 6th. So now Carl Pavano starts the 7th inning with 76 pitches under his belt, and he'll face Jim Thome, who is 2 for 2, 2 singles and a run scored. And he looks at ball 1 up high. You see that batting average for Thome, and you wonder, can that be right? 217. He actually came into the night batting 198. But it brought to mind another slow start for Thome. Back in 2001, he started the season after the month of April and just 2 fewer games than he came into tonight with a batting average of 182. 182. Guess what he ended up hitting that year?
I don't know.
291 with 49 homers and 124 runs batted in. So he's one of those guys that even at this advanced stage of his career, you don't worry too much about a slow start with him. He's 2 for 3 tonight, but he makes the first out here in the 7th inning, and it brings up Paul Konerko. And he looks at that first pitch strike. That has been the norm all night long.
I was going to say, what else is new?
I mean, how about this? 61 out of 81 pitches for strikes.
I mean, it's really fun to watch. He's out there, and he's been doing that, Matt. When you look at him, his first 2 starts on the year, there's going to be a base hit right there. Konerko with his 2nd straight hit. You look at Pavano, his first 2 starts was 0-2 and a 16 ERA, but his last 4, 2-1 and a 370, and he's been pounding the strike zone. 20 of 24 first pitch strikes.
A.J. Pierzynski drove in a run his last time up. Ball by DeRosa at third. Down the left field line it goes. Well, on his way to third goes Paul Konerko. And A.J. Pierzynski in with a double. That's the first extra base hit of the night for Chicago. And Pierzynski, you could just see in that at bat, it almost looked like he saw the way DeRosa was off the line and he just tried to flick it inside the bag. His third 2-bagger of the year.
That's a pretty good approach early. You just try and take him the other way because he's been staying away, trying to get ahead with his fastball or something away. When you look at Thome, Konerko, and Pierzynski, all have 2 hits on the night.
There goes Aaron Laffey as he's about to get busy in the Indians' bullpen. Base hit brings home 2, and all of a sudden the White Sox are within striking distance. And there it is. Although they're only going to get 1 because Pierzynski, not exactly fleet of foot, stops at third. Konerko scoring on the play. 9-3 our score. White Sox at the corners with 1 out. For Josh Fields, it's his 12th run batted in on the year.
Carl left that one out over the plate. They wanted that one inside, and you can see where Kelly's got to reach back for it.
Going to bring out pitching coach Carl Willis as Pavano has now made 84 pitches on the night.
Just trying to bide some time to get Laffey ready. You know, they did the very same thing back in the 5th inning, Matt, where they had 3 consecutive hits. They've done it here in the 7th.
Well, let's check out our Direct Energy bringing the gas sequence back in that 5th inning. After the 3 straight hits opened the frame, Josh Fields was at the plate facing Carl Pavano.
Started them out with a fastball right there. Making another one. And making another one. 3 straight fastballs got him.
Direct Energy offers simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. Meeting at the mound is over. Carl Willis heads back to the dugout. And Pavano will go to work now on Alexi Ramirez, who was robbed of a hit his last time up on a diving stop by Mark DeRosa at third, and then got up and threw him out. Ramirez did get a run batted in on that play, but he would have much rather have had the extra base knock. Keep that inning alive. It really sucked the life out of the White Sox in that inning. There was only 1 out at the time. And then Chris Getz followed with a fly ball to center to end the inning. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2 the count. I know they're not similar players, but I watch Ramirez in that big swing, and I think about Dustin Pedroia of Boston, who does not get cheated either. But Pedroia won an MVP last year and just continues to make good contact and hit for a high average. Do you see
he doesn't get cheated, that guy. He had to leave the game, I think, last night because he pulled something in his leg. Swinging the bat, he swung so hard.
0-2 pitch. He ropes it down the left field line. That's going to get home Pierzynski. Stopping at second base is Fields, and now 4 straight hits here in the 7th inning, and that was an 0-2 RBI hit to Alexi Ramirez.
3 times tonight. Carl, he's throwing so many strikes that that's the 3rd time an 0-2 base hit. Came back with another changeup. That's not a bad changeup, but I think he threw him. This is the 3rd straight one, and Ramirez made the adjustment.
So after 4 straight hits in the inning, Eric Wedge says, let's go to the bullpen. Aaron Laffey will be coming on when we come back. Tribe on top, 9-4. Seventh inning, top of the order for Chicago as Aaron Laffey comes on in relief of Carl Pavano, who was lifted after the White Sox got 4 straight hits. Carl got the first out of the inning, and then 4 straight hits. So he's out of the ball game, and Aaron Laffey will come on.
Laffey picked up a save in his last outing out of the bullpen. Remember, in Boston, he went 3 innings, got the save.
Well, what he did in that game is he was very aggressive and pounding the strike zone early in the count, much like Carl Pavano tonight, but certainly a completely different pitcher is Laffey. And that's what the Indians, I think, want to see more of from Laffey if and when he goes back into the role of starting pitching. Chris Getz, left-handed batter, 0 for 3. 2 on, 1 out. Misses for ball 1. Caught the outside corner for a called strike. And the 1-1 is chopped foul.
I send along a couple birthday wishes. One to Ron Rice, who is turning 47. Ron, happy birthday. And Allie Kleckner of Erie, PA is turning 16. So, Allie, happy birthday to you.
Yes, indeed. 2 on, 1 out. 1-2 count on Chris Getz, who is 0 for 3 with a couple of fly ball outs tonight. Laffey pushes him back off the plate. Many, many years ago, when a starting pitcher was moved to the bullpen, it was an outright demotion. Not the case anymore. In fact, Aaron Laffey said, hey, I don't look at it as a demotion at all. It's another way I can help the team. And I'm staying in the big leagues.
Actually, many, many years ago, gets the punch out right there. You were in the bullpen because you couldn't start. You weren't good enough to start.
Let's take a look at the strikeout pitch. Just paints the outside corner
kept
at the
it down
knees.
yeah, kept it down. That's what I like about that pitch there, at the knees. That's where Laffey, he's a good sinker ball pitcher. You get the ground ball, gets it, and think it was a strike.
Well, many, many, many years ago, I remember, our conversations with Bob Feller, him saying, as a starter, you didn't want to come out of the game because if they went to the bullpen, you knew you were better than those guys anyway.
Well, he might have been because he was a Hall of Famer.
But that was because that was the case. The guys at that point, you're talking back in the 40s, 30s, when they were in the bullpen, they were at the end of the line or didn't have much left. It was the last stop before retirement.
It certainly wasn't especially like it is now in the game where you come on to face a hitter or give me an inning. I'd say an inning. I thought I was coming to work. Work's 9 innings.
Well, it was interesting talking with Dennis Eckersley when we were in Boston. He was sort of at the forefront of that closer's role evolving into the 1-inning
yes,
save
he was.
guy.
La Russa did that with him. That's when it really all started.
1-1 pitch. Line drive, left field, base hit. That's going to score a run. Nope, they're going to stop him at third base.
That ball hit too hard.
So the bases are loaded. As Fields got into third, but he immediately got the stop sign. Lillibridge sent a solid drive in the left.
That pitch was down. He just dropped the bat hat on it and hit it very hard. Look at that one hopper. That's 5 hits now in the inning for the Sox.
So score remains 9-4 in favor of the Tribe, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And this is where they have been their most dangerous all year. And Carlos Quentin, 0 for 3, bounces one to third. DeRosa will get him out of the inning as he goes the short way to end it. The White Sox came into that at bat hitting .429 as a team with the bases loaded and 2 outs. But Laffey gets him tonight. To field, 9-4 in favor of the Tribe. White Sox got 2 in the top half to cut into the Indians' lead. Now Lance Broadway, who retired the final 2 hitters in the 6th inning, stays on to work the 7th. And a big curveball in there for a strike to Shopik, who has walked, singled, and scored a run. And if not for a terrific play by Chris Getz, he may have had another hit tonight. But Getz took one away from him in the 5th inning. 0-2, quickly the count on the Indians catcher tonight. Now the 0-2. Good off-speed pitch. And Shopik retired on 3 pitches to start the bottom of the 7th.
Well, take advantage of the KeyBank Fun Bunch 4-pack. Includes 4 tickets, 4 dogs, or slices of pizza, 4 Pepsi products for as low as $51. The Fun Bunch ticket package are a great way for the whole family to enjoy the game. Visit Indians.com and check it out.
Grady Sizemore looks at a ball down low. Grady is 1 for 4 tonight. He has singled and scored. He has struck out. Robbed of a hit on a line drive catch by Konerko in the 4th inning. And then flied out to center to end the 5th. Victor Martinez has had another good night offensively for the Tribe. He has scored 3 runs. He's got a hit and driven in 1. He came to the defense of his manager, Eric Wedge, after the ball game yesterday, and then he's backed it up with his play here tonight. In the dirt. 2-2 the count. One hop smash right at Getz. 2 down. Tomorrow night at 6, Al Pulaski and Mark Schwab will bring you updates from around the Indians farm system on Minor League Magazine, featuring an interview with Kinston manager Chris Tremme. That's Minor League Magazine tomorrow night at 6, right here on Sports Time Ohio. That'll be in advance of our telecast tomorrow night when the Indians and White Sox continue this 3-game series. And then Wednesday, day baseball at 12 o'clock. Start between the Tribe and Sox, and it's a great pitching matchup. Mark Burley and Cliff Lee. Burley off to a phenomenal start.
Yes, he is.
First 5-0 start in his career. As Drupal Cabrera with a fly ball to center. Routine for Brent Lillibridge, and the Indians go 1-2-3. We head to the 8th inning of play here at Progressive Field. It's the Indians 9 and the White Sox 4. Inning number 8 here at Progressive Field, where the Tribe is in front 9-4, and Aaron Laffey, who came on to get out of the 7th inning in relief of Carl Pavano, will stay on. Jermaine Dye, Jim Thome, Paul Konerko, the scheduled hitters. Dye is 1 for 3 tonight. And a strike is called. 2-1 to count. Not sure Dye is real pleased. Laffey's 2-1. Missed low, and now the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Liner towards center. It's going to stay up, and Sizemore will make the head-high grab, 1 away.
Yeah, he never even dropped his bat. Well, if you're traveling, you can always catch the Tribe games on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 live out-of-market games per week, plus on-demand games. For full details, visit Indians.com, where baseball is always on.
Here is Jim Thome, 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored. Swung on and missed, and the count quickly 0-2. Jim Thome will be 39 years old when this season comes to a conclusion. And he struck him out looking. Aaron Laffey gets the punch out. His second strikeout. Crowd loves it. Thome, not so much. 2 down.
Now you're going to see a breaking ball. He thought it was down and away, and that may have caught the outside corner on its way down. He didn't think so. He's taken a lot of pitches, but Dale Scott said, no siree. It's a strike. And Jimmy's explaining in that dugout, that's just not a strike.
Here's Paul Konerko, 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Konerko starting to heat up. Last 24 games, and then you throw in tonight, he's batting over 300. And that's why his season average is now just over 300. Came in tonight batting .291, but with 2 more hits tonight, he's pumped it up by 10 points.
Well, he had some injuries last year, and he had some problems. That's why he had an off year. This guy, he's a good hitter. Remember when he used to roll there with Maglio Ordonez? Both those guys used to like going and shooting that ball to right center field.
Konerko, even though it seems like he's been around as long as Jim Thome, is only 33. He didn't really break in until 1999. First full year with the White Sox. Check swing tapper, and it goes foul at the last moment right in front of the bag. Konerko was drafted by the Dodgers, originally a first-round pick back in 1994. And he went to the Reds. I should say he went to the White Sox from the Reds in exchange for Mike Cameron back in '98. And that's when his career really took off. In 1999, he hit .294 for the White Sox, 24 homers. And he's been pretty much a steady Eddie every year. Now the 1-2 pitch. Again, it's foul. The one blip on the radar in his career would be 2003 when he hit .234. Homers were down to 18. Ribbies down to 65. played in 137 games, but it was one of those years where he got off to a slow start, and he just kept digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Everybody's entitled.
Yeah.
You know, to have an off year, to have a down year.
Other than that, though, Rick, his numbers are pretty consistent year in and year out.
He gives you an honest track record, as they call it.
Missed low, 2-2. Last year, his batting average dipped to 240, but he still hit 22 home runs.
Yeah, but had the injuries, with some nagging injuries that stayed with him most of the year.
Yeah, he only played 122 games last year. That strained oblique. Just missed with that pitch, and the count goes full. Yeah, he missed almost an entire month last year with that strained oblique injury. And a soft liner is going to drop in left field for a 2-out single. Don't forget, you can buy authentic Sports Time Ohio merchandise at stostuff.com. STO hat, all bets are off t-shirt. Also have an all bets are off talking bottle opener from Bruce Drennan. Check it out now, stostuff.com. Now A.J. Pierzynski. And that just missed outside. Pierzynski 2 for 3. He has single, doubled, scored, and driven in a run. Sounded like he broke his bat. Cabrera going to throw to Laffey, who just did reach back and tag the bag. So the inning ends. Laffey keeps the Indians in front 9-4. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and good news from across the street, even though the game wasn't played across the street. Cavaliers sweep the Hawks, taking Game 4 down in Atlanta by 10. So now they will have to sit and wait again.
Yeah, it's okay. You earned that rest, boy. That's something I don't think they're going to mind.
So it's between the Celtics and the Orlando Magic.
Yes, and
that's
one
tied.
of those two will open it up here.
That's tied 2-2, right?
Yep. Sure is.
Thanks to Glenn Davis, right? He hit the
at the buzzer
shot last night. Victor Martinez, he has scored 3 runs tonight. Big bouncing ball, going to stay fair. Paul Konerko will take it himself, one away. Well, let's take a look at the results of tonight's Alltel text poll question of the game, and our viewers, by a very slim margin, select Albert Bell over Manny Ramirez as the best Indians hitter during the 1990s. Bell was certainly the most feared power hitter in that lineup. What do you think? Was he the best hitter?
I think Manny was probably overall the best hitter. Maybe not at that point in time when he was coming up.
That's a good point.
You know, because Manny was always a very good hitter, but Albert was as feared as anybody. You know, no telling what he would have done if he didn't have his hip problem. He was pretty intense at the plate.
Well, that 1995 season, 50 homers and 50 doubles in 140 games.
Yeah.
Chu looks at a ball in the dirt. Chu got the Indians rolling tonight with an RBI single in the first. Then he drove in 2 in the fourth. This scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. That was the difference tonight. The Indians scored first. They scored in the first. They had not scored a first inning run in the month of May, but they got 2 tonight, and they've played from in front the whole way.
And then they were able to add on to it.
1 out walk to Chu. That's right, Rick. They had 2 in the first, then a 4 spot in the fourth, then 3 more in the sixth. And those 3 in the sixth came after the White Sox had scored 2 in the fifth. So,
well, I just like the way everybody's participated in this thing tonight. 13 hits, and they've moved it up and down the lineup. They've had good innings, and when they've scored, it's been with crooked numbers.
Mark DeRosa has 2 hits on the night, plus a run batted in.
And when you think about it, they had opportunities to do more, which is a good thing. I mean, you're never, you take advantage of all your situations, but the more opportunities you get, the better you are.
4-6, no! They won't turn the double play. They got the 4-6 part of it, but the throw from Ramirez wide of Konerko. He tried to come off the bag and flag it down. Lucky for the White Sox, it hit the facing in their dugout.
Did Chu have anything to do making that throw a little wild there? It should have been a tailor-made double play. No, he jumps up, and no, it's just a bad throw. I thought Chu was going to get there. He just came way out of the baseline and then dropped down from the side, and that thing just sailed on him.
Johnny Peralta looks at a ball in the dirt. Johnny with 3 hits tonight and 3 runs batted in. And none bigger than in that 4th inning when he had the second of the 2 Indians 2-run, 2-out singles. Chu got the first one, and then after Mark DeRosa was hit by a pitch, Peralta got the second one. And that made it a 4-run inning. It gave the Indians a 6-0 advantage. Ozzie Guillen watched Gavin Floyd really struggle tonight with his command, especially early in the game. And to Floyd's credit, he did try to battle his way through 5 innings. But the first 2 reached in the 6th, and they both came around to score. Ozzie's still keeping it light, even though his team's down 5 here in the 8th inning. That's a good sign right there, because about a week ago, Johnny would have probably chased after that pitch. But he's in a better groove offensively right now and able to lay off when they go up the ladder on him. But he got him with the off-speed stuff. So the inning is over. We go to the 9th here at Progressive Field, 9-4 Cleveland. But actually, you know, the fact that the wind has died down has kept it rather comfortable here this evening. And the Indians' offense has also made it enjoyable for the fans. They have scored 9 runs on 13 hits, and now turning it over to Rafael Betancourt to try and close it out.
Well, it was a lean weekend, and, you know, it's nice to watch these guys make some left turns. 13 hits on the game. Betancourt coming in now to finish it. In relief of Aaron Laffey, Rafael, 16 in the third innings, coming on to face, let's see, Fields, Ramirez, Getz, the scheduled hitters.
Josh Fields, a couple of hits tonight and a run batted in. And a first pitch strike from Rafi Betancourt. It's down low with it. The 1-1 is fouled back. Betancourt ready now with a 1-2 pitch. And he wouldn't chase after it. You'd think Fields, after playing big-time college football, would have that calm, cool, collected attitude when he strides to the plate to make his major league debut. He said his legs were shaking so bad, he said, I couldn't remember what anyone said to me before I went to the plate. I was just trying not to strike out. And what did he do?
Struck out.
He went up and hit a home run in his first career at bat. Only the third player in White Sox history to do that. Back in September of 06.
Well, then you got to bring that approach up every time. Don't strike out. Don't strike out. Get up.
It's interesting to me, you know, to think a guy played big-time college football would be that nervous in his, you know.
Well, you're on your own in baseball in that little batter's box.
There's
you got 10 other guys
no
running
offensive
around.
line to hide behind.
Right. You're on your own, baby, out there, that little box. It's you. It's that piece of wood in your hand facing that pitcher.
Field said he got the baseball back, and it's got its own special place next to some of his game footballs from Oklahoma State. 3-2 count here to start the ninth inning. Betancourt trying to put him away. Goes right at him, and it's fouled back. Again, the 3-2 pitch to Fields. And again, it's fouled back. For a guy who had as much success as he had in college as a quarterback, you may wonder, well, why didn't he choose that route? I think in the end, he just wasn't quite big enough for the NFL scouts. 6'2", kind of a tweener. They like the guys who are 6'4", 6'5", big guys who can look downfield over the top of the lineman. And not to mention, he was a pretty doggone good baseball player. Again, the payoff pitch. And again, it's fouled back out of play. You know, in his career at Oklahoma State, on the baseball team, he hit .364. 25 home runs in his career at Oklahoma State, 131 runs batted in.
Okie State, that's where Johnny Farrell was the pitching
That's
coach
correct.
for a while, wasn't it?
I don't think they weren't there at the same time, though. I think John was already with the Indians, but I'd have to go back and look. The payoff pitch again. This time he misses, and Fields, after a terrific at bat, draws a leadoff walk. Time now for our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game. And it was a much needed offensive outburst from Johnny Peralta tonight.
Well, second straight game with 3 hits, so 6 for 9 his last 2 games. That's what you want to see. You need Johnny to start hitting.
Half swing, grounder to second. They'll get one there, the relay. And it just couldn't quite dig it out. Not sure it would have been in time anyway. Ramirez gets down the line quickly. So 1 on, 1 out now, top of the order.
Well, gives the flip over to Peralta, and he's got to jump over Fields. He couldn't get anything on the throw. And besides, it was low, and it got by Victor.
So here is Chris Getz now. 0 for 4 on the night. And a first pitch strike. Stick around after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. We'll look back at the highlights. We'll also get you ready for Game 2 in this series, which comes your way tomorrow night. And we'll also look to talk with one of the heroes from tonight's ball game. But they still have to get 2 outs to finish it off. Indians trying to snap a 4-game skid. Fouled away. Now the 1-2 pitch coming up. Line foul. This is one of those strange games in that you look on the scoreboard and you see the Indians have the 13 hits. The White Sox have a dozen. But it doesn't seem like they've had a dozen hits in this ball game tonight. They had 5 in 1 inning. That came in the 7th. Maybe that's why. They had 4 straight hits off
yes,
Carl
they
Pavano.
did. And then back in the 5th inning, they had 3 straight hits. Well, because, you see, the White Sox, 40% of their runs score via the home run ball. You keep them on singles, you clog up the bases. They couldn't score on a couple of base hits. So if you keep them in the ballpark, you don't give up any walks, and you make them hit their way, then they shouldn't hurt you too much.
2-2 pitch to Getz. And it's outside. Rafael Betancourt has gone full to Chris Getz here. Wilson Bediment, pinch hitter, waits on deck. And the 3-2 is hit in the air to left field. There's Ben Francisco. 2 away. And we will see Wilson Bediment pinch hit here in the 9th for Brent Lillibridge. Switch hitting infielder. Spent last year with the New York Yankees.
For the White Sox, pinch hitters on the year, 1 for 15 for Ozzie Guillen. with no RBIs. They have really struggled coming off the bench.
Betterman came to the White Sox from the Yankees as part of the trade that sent Nick Swisher to the Bronx. Takes the first pitch strike. Last year he played in 87 games for New York, batted .265. He was originally signed by the Atlanta Braves out of the Dominican Republic. Strike at the knees on the outside corner. And the Indians are one strike away from ending their skid. Johnny Peralta had 3 hits tonight for the Indians and also drove in 3 big runs to fuel the offense. Carl Pavano pitched 6 in the 3rd innings, and now Betancourt trying to nail it down. Ozzie Guillen's club came in here tonight, having lost 6 out of 10, 2 games under 500. Now the right-hander's 1-2. Just missed. Not by much. Betterman lives to see another pitch. And the 2-2. That's low, full count.
Full count to 3 out of the 4.
Third time, that's right.
3 out of the 4 that he's faced. He's gone full count. I mean, this is where you got a 5-run lead. You can be, like Pavano, pound the strike zone. There's no reason to be nibbling.
Crowd on its feet. They want to see Betancourt end it right here. Tribe up by 5 in the 9th. Cavs have already won to move on to the conference finals. Payoff pitch. In the air left field, Ben Francisco once again makes the catch. Ball game is over. Indians' 4-game losing streak also is over. Tribe wins it by a final score tonight of 9-4. The win goes to Carl Pavano. He evens his record on the season to 3-3. The loss goes to Gavin Floyd. He drops to 2-3